Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Future of AI. Europe leads the way. Very happy to have this webinar take place today. We have some great people to talk to you today. Christine Thompson from Zitiso, partner of P2L, and Gianni Dell'Aiuto, who is a writer and a lawyer from Rome. Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Good day, everyone. Um, so a little bit of detail about our colleague Gianni. Thank you again for being here. And obviously it's later in the day for you than it is for us. So thank you for staying up late.
Thank
You'll
you for your
notice,
invitation.
oh,
Glad to be here.
yeah, excellent. Uh, as Mike had mentioned, Gianni is a prolific author, and we've highlighted a few of his books. You can see on the screen the Corporate Lawyer 6.0, but I think, Mike, your favorite was reading from the Homo Googly series.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, and that Johnny, in working in the legal field, you have had a focus on digital law. So obviously, as AI has become more and more prominent, the interest in both data and technology is something that you're going to be able to help us understand better today.
Yes, that's my field. Legally, mostly. I'm not technical but I must explain that the data is not just something online, but is a legal issue because data is us, is our personality. We are the producer of data. We give data, and machine and internet. We must remember that is a data-driven machine. Internet without the data is an empty, useless space, and it works only with information and personal information. And it's not only our name. Every single click, every single touch, every move is an information that we give to the web, that we give to someone that is using. And artificial intelligence maybe is the best ever product, but is something that is the top of an iceberg. Is something that we have to manage, we have to live with, but we have to know it. Us and companies and corporations, and mostly companies that use data must be aware of what they use and how they use it. That artificial intelligence doesn't think, rearrange, doesn't understand, reflects, and doesn't know us. Artificial intelligence know what we do and the information that we give. And according this information and the algorithm, someone decide, produce programs, solution, answers. That's why it must be rule and economy. And the European Union was European Union was the first state, the first place where they decided to protect the data, but even to protect us, not only companies, because European rules are mostly based on the protection of the rights of the people. Because we give a lot of information to internet and artificial intelligence. Company cannot live without our information. How they get it, how they collect, but mostly how they process and use it. Well, first of all, let me say that they receive informations because we are liars. It's proven that all of us are definitively liars, and it's very dangerous to be liar online. Every day, all of us, I'm the first one, I admit, I lie at least 3 times with one finger. When I answer yes to the question, did you properly read the terms and conditions of navigations? Do you accept totally aware what we will do with your data? And we say yes. And maybe while I ask a quotation for your services, Christine, or your product, Mike, I say yes even to your newsletter. And I also accept that you share my personality, my identity with your best partners, your best clients, with Santa Claus and the big old boys or Jack the Ripper. I don't know who. When you say in your privacy policy, I share my data with my best partners. Well, glad to know. I wish to meet them personally. What do you do with my data? What do they do with my data? And remember this, that is quite important. Data is the most ever stolen asset in the human history. All of us receive at least one attempt on my small mobile every day to have some information about my partner's clients on my book. So I can guess big companies how many attacks receive, public administration, hospitals. Information is not just my name, is what I buy. If you have an online e-commerce of food, diaries, or medicals, you know if I'm a vegetarian, vegan, Jewish, or Muslim, if I have any allergy or any disease. So that's why they are the most ever stolen product. That's why are sold in dark web and in deep web, and that's why companies need data because artificial intelligence need data. Artificial intelligence needs information to process, to profile, to give all the possible answer to the company that buy our personality online. We are not just one person. We are no more just one physical person. We are even a second digital identity online, living 24 hours a day, managed and touched only by algorithm and companies. And this second personality has got no rights. And there is a question that raising just right now in university and courts are thinking, what will be our second identity when we will be no more here, when physical body will be somewhere else? My personality will be forever online. Please remember, everything we put online will remain online forever. So that's why in 2016, European Union started to try to protect us and try to protect us with the first and the strongest probably law for personal data that is called GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. That is a law that guarantees to all European citizens rights because I need to know first who are giving my data, who is collecting, how they use it, how long they profile, how they protect, and so on. I must know who has got in his hands my personality. And that's why privacy policy, privacy disclaimer must be properly done according law, and companies must use in the proper way according what they decide, what they declare to me first, what they do with my data. That's the most important part. And it's worth for all European citizens all around the world. So all companies that process data of European citizens must accomplish this law, even if they are based in the United States or Canada or wherever. And they are very aware. Meta Facebook that receive a fine 1.3 billions. Now TikTok is negotiating a fine in a half billion euros. And but not only big data companies, Google, Yahoo, and others, airlines, hotel chains, small companies, public health system, they receive daily fines from our watchdogs. And we have not just one European watchdog. We have 27. Every state has got his watchdog. And in this moment, Italy is watching carefully ChatGPT, the most important AI system, because it doesn't protect the data of children. They collect with in a making discrimination and other. So even if your company is selling some product related to AI in Europe, you must accomplish this law. And while personal data protects, GDPR protects personal data, now we have also AI Act is a new regulation applied to all Europe and regulates how artificial intelligence systems use the data to make decisions. Because I don't know what systems can decide. I just give my data, give my information. They collect billions in high quantity of data. They process without let us know how they do it, but mostly how they collect, who is giving data. And again, let's make a small example right now. What are the algorithm of artificial intelligence? I'm a lawyer and we are discussing if it's possible to put decision on artificial intelligence in courts. Well, basically you can say, why not? A theft is a theft wherever. But what about if algorithm forget to remind to the judge that is different to buy just to steal or to steal just because you are hungry or because you need money of somebody else? What's the difference? Can artificial intelligence decide if I steal cheese to eat for my family or money from a bank? Is the algorithm good enough to do it? So, Artificial Intelligence Act is the law that try to control developers and make them aware of what they are doing with data and personality, with our double personality, the person that we create online in internet. So, and is trying to protect from misuse and abuse by those who design and deploy this system. Basic, if you produce artificial intelligence solutions wherever and you want to sell in Europe, you must take care of the risk that you create to the people. And there are 4 levels of risk classified by this law. And there is one with minimum risk. Probably when I ask ChatGPT to write some words for me, or spam filters or video game algorithms are exempt from specific obligations. So who's making just some little games or something not dangerous, no problem, no strict rules. Then we have limited risk systems like Chatbox. Chatbox can give an answer for my taste, can give me suggestion according to the company where it is based, can drive my choice of a product in a way or another way. And this is an artificial intelligence system. And their system with people interact and there is no a person in the middle. I use your chat box of your company and nobody's taking care, mostly who is on the other side. What if it's a 13-old boy or a little girl? I'm sorry to say, but parents hardly control this, hardly check. So it's an open system. Then third level is high risk system. Is those used in employment, credit, justice are allowed but must follow strict rules. So if you work with artificial intelligence for banking, for insurance, in finance, in health system, you have to follow strict rules in collecting, processing, using data, and inform people how you use them. And then this finally is the unacceptable risk. Social scoring, hidden biometric surveillance, which are simply banned. They are totally banned in Europe. They cannot be used. And artificial system doing this, it's not allowed, it's not legal unless special cases like military terrorism or other. But we have huge difficulties because it's violation of privacy to use in airport and study behavioral actions. I know in some states there are cameras that can watch that watch through my eyes and decide if I'm going to act bad according to their law. honestly, I think is too much, is a limit of freedom. And that's so. That's basic why the law are created by this. What seems strange but is totally logic, both GDPR and AI Act, they do not say what company must do. They do not have a to-do or a checklist of behaviors or positive action to do. They say laws say just protect, just be compliant according your size, according your revenue, according the amount of money that involves, according the cost for your company. I cannot force you to change password every day or to have firewalls or other. The law say do what's enough to do for your company. And so if you develop, sell or distribute AI system, you are subject to this law. That's basic. Indirect access is not forbidden. You must take control of your database, of your server, and you must protect. What can be strange but is normal that anyway every single citizen can exercise his rights. I can ask you in every moment, where are my data, how you use it, where if I want to change, if I say please do not use anymore for this or for that, but only for one other purpose, you can do it, you must follow me. Otherwise, legal actions can start and can start from every single person and even from the European watchdogs in this. So Europe is leading in this. Well, at least is trying to protect people, but also protect company. Now, for all companies, I wish to point that they have an important add value that is called digital trust. Digital trust is the quantity and the quality of trust I can put on you while you have my data. So maybe company, they say, I don't care, I will use my data like TikTok. If you read the privacy policy of TikTok, basically they say, I will have your data forever. I will use it forever. I will share with whoever I want. They can pay or not pay. These are no more your data, but are my data. And bye forget. And many companies do this. Many companies still keep doing this. Now, if they want to do it in Europe, is very strict. And digital trust is getting something more and more important. Companies should be aware that they have not only my email to send an offer or a quotation or newsletter. They have my life. They have a life of my children, my relatives, and they use this to profile and offer better navigation, better experience, better offer. But are you sure I really want this that is the best for me, or is the best for you and for your partner? That's that's the issue that GDPR and AI Act try to protect in this way. So is a new system to protect us, to protect our digital avatar, but also our third personality. Because I thank you very much, Mike and Christine, to put the title of my book in my presentation. Yes, we are no more two identity. We are no more just a physical person and a digital person. We are also the man with mobile in hand. We think according mobile. We have delegate to our smartphone all memory. I always challenge when I have some speech. Can you tell me telephone number of your 5 best clients? Maybe most of people not even know telephone number of wife, husband, or children. Our memory, our life is all in a mobile. And since we have a mobile, we have totally changed our behavior. We do not read on papers. We do not write by hand anymore. And now even messages are totally different. I remember when I was a child, during holiday was mandatory to send a postcard to all my friends, and they knew that this postcard was for you. I bought it, I put a stamp, maybe a strange stamp, I write something for you, and it arrives only for you, and I have to write and remind your address. Now I can send a selfies to all the list of my mobile and say, watch where I am. It's totally changing. Good morning to everybody. I used not even give good morning to my best friends. Now I have to give to all my connection on social or on my laptop. And but is it for me or is not personal communication or is something different? Social totally change our behavior. And why I've decided that we are a new man, no more Homo sapiens. We have disease that didn't exist before. It's not me to say this. The internet and social bring with us many degrees. Snapchat dysmorphy, phobia to be disconnected, problems with hands, loss of memories. I love to read Manfred Spitzer, a German psychiatrist, that is saying that the new generation has got a digital dementia. It's quite a serious problem. I work with a pediatric doctor for children, explaining me that he's visiting children 8 years old that will never be a great swimmers or tennis player because they cannot open hands. They are closed watching mobiles since they are children.
Oh,
So, yes, that's why I call there are even more effects called the effect Dunning-Kruger. I think to know everything because I read on internet and it's not true. I read Wikipedia and I think be expert of everything. And there are other the inverse Flynn effect. Since beginning of last century, QI of people increase everywhere all around the world, from Norway to Africa to South America, in Europe, America, everywhere. Since we have internet, is decreasing every year. The new generation that is called Zoomer, Millennials, X generation, they're called also generation copy paste. Yes, is in uh, is in books already, and copy paste generation is something that I cannot believe. They are expert of TikTok, but I talk with some children that do not even know who is Charlie Chaplin. I speak with children that read Berlin Walls and say, I don't know, maybe something divided in Germany. And they have no idea of this. They stop on the first image. I tell you, do you know this? I wait for Netflix to have it. I don't need to read the books. Will be on Netflix.
yeah.
That's the answer that I have when I have some speech or try to make a bit of digital education. So Europe say not only I try to protect people and talk to the companies how to protect, how to process data. I also try to protect people, be aware under the digital revolution. You cannot, and we must be very careful on this. There is, I always remember Umberto Eco, the famous Italian writer and journalist, the philosophy, the name of Rose, his book and movie. He used to say social platforms give voice and opportunity to chat to billion of idiots because everybody can write everything. But I say yes, Umberto Eco was right, but half. Because not only billions of idiots can talk on internet, on social, but more and more billions of stupid can believe it. And now we have evidence I can't believe, and it's happened that the cure for cancer is lemonade and coffee. But what if someone believe it already happened and someone died for this?
Oh,
So GDPR and artificial intelligence are probably not the solution for all big problems. They are not the magic touch to make us totally safe in internet and in navigation, but they are probably the first positive answer, first to all of us and then to companies trying to protect people and give them people right to all our free identities, physical person with rights, digital identity without rights, and the homo Googles with mobile in hand. That's basic.
Wow. That's a lot of information to take in, Gianni. Thank you so much. I do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
You just mentioned about digital education. Like actually, it was interesting how you started off with, the basic, the GDPR and the AI Act and understanding sort of legal implications of data, especially in this artificial intelligence world. So with that in mind, and the fact that we are connected, what did you mean by digital education? What should it entail? How can we kind of
Yes.
reclaim our humanity?
Well, a mobile phone is a weapon. Is a weapon I can use to have knowledge, to defend myself, to communicate, to be here with you. I cannot do it without digital information. I cannot do it without internet. I cannot do it with technology, maybe a bit of artificial intelligence. But a weapon need a license, and we need to be educated. Someone can kill himself. We know about a challenge on TikTok, how many children died. So it's an issue that nobody teach people how to surf social. Nobody teach people how to use information. To have friends is not only Facebook. To have a profession is not Instagram. To make business or buy is not Amazon. So in Latins used to say cum grano salis, so use your head at the best. Families, school should do a lot for this. When we give a mobile to a children, we should be very careful about this, but also us, we give a lot of information to someone that we do not know. Internet is also a place of crimes, not only new disease, but we have new crimes, theft of identity, digital kidnapping, a terrible crime committed against children, and partners in crime mostly are mothers when they give photo and information of children that can be used real information, not fake, to create a double profile. Digital education is to talk about this in community, in church, in schools, wherever. And many fraud to old people, love frauds. In France, a woman gave 800,000 euros to a man believing he was Brad Pitt. I'm not kidding. It's on news.
Wow.
Many old people were totally stolen money by love fraud or
Right.
fake
Yeah.
investments in Bitcoin or other.
Yeah.
I can talk. There are 1,000 tricks that we receive every day, and they change every day. They on the dark web, on deep web, you can buy fake profiles, fake documents, drugs, real weapons, and tortures.
Yeah.
You can buy tortures online and you see in all your mobile, in your Telegram channels. So it's a dangerous place, internet,
Yeah.
and we must defend ourselves. Start in family, start with school,
Okay.
personal, and
Yeah.
tell
Like
me, yeah,
I totally agree with you, but I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that in order to function in our society, we have to be connected. You can't have a job, you can't go to school, you can't even be a consumer without being online. So how do you make this real if we're supposed to protect our data? Like going back to your point of how we lie because we just say, yes, I've read it. And I agree. Why do
right,
we do that? We do that because we need that tool. We need that product.
yes,
Why
and
shouldn't it be then that the law assumes that companies have no permission to your data. So if we just automatically click, we get in. And if they want our data, they have to explicitly ask us. Why is it the reverse right now? And do you know
Yeah.
if
And,
that's ever
and by the way, Gianni, someone commented on that exact thing in the chat. So David Solomon mentioned we are guilty of one finger lie. Thanks for pointing that out, Gianni.
Thank you, so, David. So, David, yes, we must learn. We have this in our hands without a handbook. At the beginning, it was common to have a call from car or everywhere. Then we started to surf internet, exchange photos. Wow! But nobody make us aware. Is it too late now? No, it's not too late. But we need to start talk about danger online. In Europe, we are a bit more lucky because if a company use data against my will, I can sue them and
Oh,
and watchdogs can make fines. But in California there is a more strict rules. Utah and I guess New York or another Connecticut maybe.
Yeah.
Brazil they start to have laws. We need an international law.
yeah.
At the beginning, internet was a free space for everybody, and they wanted it to keep free. Each one is free to do whatever they want in internet. Honestly, no. Pedopornography is one of the most committed crime. We
Mm.
need control and probably a global law to punish these crimes.
Mhm.
What about government should cooperate?
Absolutely. We have an Interpol. Why don't we have a cyber Interpol?
Probably they have divisions, but it's the most moment to have something like this. A cyber Interpol should be the right answer. More cooperation between police because I saw heavy craze of tortures on children and we do not know where they are committed.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I can punish only the final buyer. It's difficult to reach who is doing this. And another, and I'm really interesting because in United States, in the city of Seattle and maybe some others, the school agency started a class action against Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and other big companies, try to prove in court that they are using algorithms for children, teenagers like drugs to
Yeah.
become them addicted. We should we see many people that spend hours and hours. Oh, I just want to play a game and then 4 hours watching movies that you like. Algorithms will never say, stop, it's enough, you must go work. It's killing your brain, it's killing your mind. They say, you like this, that's another one, that's another one, that's another one. It's
Maybe
like
they
Las
should.
Vegas when
Maybe there should be laws to actually help keep a brain healthy. Do you
yeah,
think
And
that's
not just to feed dopamine.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but there is a nice question. Online behavior. Do you think what? And the question is, do you know the difference between a cat and a dog? Well, there are many, but the cat is free. They do whatever they want. They run away. They will never stop if you say stop here. And they come to you only when they are hungry. They decide when to eat or what to eat. But dogs search for you. Dogs are happy when you scratch, when you give a cookie, when you feed, and when you put the hand on the head. Well, social is treating us like dogs. Every click, every like is wow, I'm happy here. They like me. They appreciate me. They comment me. I have a million of followers. So I stay here like the puppet, the dog of the house. So let's think on this. Sometimes when I'm in the school, I say to children, do you want to be free like a cat or connected like a dog doing everything they want for a cookie? And when they explain the difference, someone say, no, I want to be a cat. And I close my social platform for one moment. Yes, education means even this. And I always still trust the companies. They decide I will offer my clients digital trust. I will promise, I will promise that I will not use your data against your will. I will use it in the way that you want, and I will not sell to anybody. I will not profile you.
Okay,
If it happens, yeah.
sorry, just on that point, uh, without your permission, but is the permission when we click, yes, I've read your policy?
Well, in Europe, in European Union, you must make every click for every activity you accept, and it must be a positive affirmative action. When I ask you, please send me a quotation, and then you can send me, do you want email? Do you want a mailing list? Do you want this and that? And I am the one that
Oh, that's
must
so
do
good.
yes. I
That's
assist
good.
companies in making this. Policy disclaimer is the first important step to protect the
Right.
data and to respect your clients and your follower and navigations online. Then you have to comply.
Now, you had mentioned that EU citizens have protection even when they're not doing business in the EU. Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, correct.
Oh, how does that play out if they're doing business with an American company that obviously isn't following GDPR? How do they
Okay.
protect their data when they're
The
dealing
com
with
I,
companies?
I have got the right to do not accept the services of the company, but imagine this one. I'm in Los Angeles and it's my birthday. Then and I'm European. Then it's theoric, is an extreme example.
Okay,
But when I'm in Los Angeles, you decide to buy for me a cake online in a bakery, maybe you should say that I'm allergic to something. They have a personal data. They processing my data.
right.
So they should, but I understand Baker in Los Angeles will never do it, and I do not care about this. This is just one small information. But if I buy from e-commerce in United States, you know everything about me. It's possible that in the near future, e-commerce from outside Europe will be blocked where they do not respect personal data. Many apps based we do not know where collect health informations about health.
Yeah,
Their information for blood pressure, for heartbeat, for women to check period, for everything. And most of the app, I do not know where they are based.
yeah,
If you download some Apple from Google Store or Samsung or Apple Store, they do not say, I am this company and I'm based here. They
yeah,
say, I'm the developer. So who is the developer?
Mhm.
The app is for free. No, nothing is for free. If something is for free, you are the price. You
yeah,
pay
yeah,
with your
yeah,
data. Maybe most of us do not realize when they say, I join Facebook or I join a social platform, is a contract. I buy a space and I pay with my data that Mark Zuckerberg and someone else will share with his partners. Kindly note, this is quite important. At the beginning, Facebook had, when you subscribe, this is for free and will always be free. No more in Europe because a court judged that it was a fake information, bad profiling, and now it's the best way to connect your friends. Is not free. I pay with my data, is clearly stated in the contract. In the moment of subscription, when you say yes to Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever, it's not for free. You pay with your personality. But I understand, Mike, you are 100% right. And you, Christine, we cannot live without internet. We say Do you know which is the best place to hide a dead body if you want to kill someone? Second page of research on Google.
Second page. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
How many of us
No,
actually make it to the pages that follow? Yeah.
yes. No, we see the best one. The companies pay to be the first one.
Yeah.
Paid because they use our data. In the moment I search to buy a tie or a shirt or a hat, million of companies are informed about what I'm doing it in that moment.
Mm.
That from my mobile there is a research for a shirt. So all companies selling shirt will say, that's a great opportunity. I want to be the first one.
Mhm.
Christine, how many mails we receive from China, India, or wherever with unknown names to offer us the opportunity? Do you want to be the first one on
Yeah.
Google?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Google has got a quantity of information that all secret services of the world till now would never had.
Yeah.
And they have it for free. We
Mhm.
have given them all our information.
Mhm.
Even if I ask where is the closest restaurant, they will know where I am and what I'm looking for.
So how do you actually, given that this has already happened, how do you actually gain control of your digital profile? How can you recover? Is it possible?
Well, if you tell me digital profile on Facebook or Meta, there are some systems to close it and recover and to appoint someone to control. But when I say my digital identity, there is no way. There
Yeah.
is no way because
Done.
forever internet will remember that the 7th of April of 1999 I bought something online.
Yeah. Yeah.
There will be billion of internet pages died. There will be new social platforms. There will be new people online. But our information, our navigation will always be there.
So now I'm just feeling a little bit defeated. There is no hope. So what would you say is going forward? What would you say is important for people to pay attention to so we can make it better for ourselves and our communities tomorrow? You'd already mentioned about digital education, so let's put that aside. But what else can we do as a society to
Well,
actually?
as a society, mm, first, learn to do not give mobile to children until 14 at least. Some
Hmm.
educators say 16, at least 14, please avoid.
Mhm.
Avoid because they have a mind that is very easy from toxic products. I see many families give the children tablet so I can talk and I can eat, but the children is always watching that. Is individual. There are no rules, and I cannot impose families or schools do not to use this. You
Like
read more
alcohol then.
books. Sorry?
Like alcohol, like how we have
Yes.
laws about alcohol or cigarettes, we should have laws about
Worse than drugs.
mobiles. Yeah.
Worse than drugs. And I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Okay. So
Me too.
let's
I'm
imagine
from.
we've got people now saying, okay, I'm going to be more careful with my children and the other members of my family. What else can we do as adults to protect ourselves and to also regain a bit more control? Even though we have to be connected and online and saying yes.
Yes, I know because we love to be connected. While Homo sapiens exit from caves to face Neolithic revolution and conquer the world, Homo Google is living a very comfortable home delivery revolution, digital
Sure.
revolution. We work from home. I
Yeah.
appreciate when I can have this opportunity to speak with you and to the people that is with us tonight. But we must be aware that our personality is online. We
Yeah.
are giving a piece of our identity to someone else, and we don't know who is
Who
on
they
the
are.
other side. And artificial intelligence is making things worse because someone can use my face to make some deep fake or someone else
So is
stealing of identity.
sorry, is the AI Act then trying to put some controls around that?
Yes, the developers must take care of their products and how is the final product and the risk for communities and for people. So I state again, low risk, minimal risk, such some video games and maybe some small activity in the metaverse. Then a limited risk like chat box. Who is answer? Who I'm replying? Is really the Gianni or his or Christine or a 8 years old boy asking information? Ensure that the users are interacting properly. High risk are the one for justice and employment. Do you think it's acceptable for a person to be judged by artificial intelligence if it's good for a job or no, or can make a discrimination? How about I decide, I ask my algorithm, yes, accept everybody, but not people with red head, friggles, and glasses. I can put that. So, can you control on this? Or I do not want Italians or Italians or lawyers. Lawyers forbidden to apply in this. Yes, some people will be happy. I know we are not a good category. We are not so much loved. And then check if your company is using artificial intelligence for high level risk like social scoring or biometric surveillance that are banned the system in Europe. If some
Okay.
companies producing that, they could not use it. And what's important, start from companies. How can we protect ourselves? Ask companies, can I have digital trust from you? Do you offer me digital trust? Maybe government should create a certification for digital trust.
Yeah.
And companies must be ready to say, that's where I keep your data, that's how I use it, and you will always have control on this and nobody will steal your data.
Yeah.
Start from companies,
Yeah.
make company friendly, and something can start to change.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, then the more companies that actually take on that responsibility become the favored companies because people become aware that that's what I'm going to look for.
Yes.
The looking for that certification and that I don't have to do a lot of legwork to find out. They should just be volunteering. We're going to be
Yes.
capturing this data. This is how
Well,
we're going to store it, and we're not going to use it this way. And if we want to do something different, we're going to ask you first.
okay, yes. I do not want to talk too much legal, but most friendly. But GDPR is created a new category of work that is called Data Protection Officer. It's part of my work. Every company can appoint a data protection officer to control the privacy and the chain of privacy in company. To have someone that make internal surveillance, and you can just put in your website, our data are protected according GDPR, the best law to protect your data and your identity. It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory in the United States if you do not work with European data, but can be a solution, can be something. We do something for your clients. You know, disclaimer are always, we take care of your privacy. Show me.
Yeah.
Just don't tell me.
Yeah.
Just tell me how you do it, what you do it, and say, I have a person out of my company, a lawyer, a notary, a sheriff, a judge that is taking care that I'm using carefully, that I'm applying that I'm doing what I promised to do.
It's like an audit, right? So you
Yes.
can have a data privacy security audit.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we do in Europe. All companies should do it.
Yeah.
Many, they don't do it because they think it's just a cost.
Mm.
Well, you can invest the minimum. Start with a compliant website. That's the first step. Because if you are not compliant, you can discover when it's too late, like Facebook, and have a fine of 1 million, or some judge will some watchdog, some authority will say, you will not work anymore in Europe. When GDPR started, many USA newspaper, included, I remember, Los Angeles Times, was not accessible from Europe because they decided we do not want to put a minimum level of protection. And some other websites were closed or banned. And I point again, ChatGPT was blocked in Italy.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes,
Is it
was
still
blocked.
blocked?
1 year ago, for about 1 month, was not available until they gave guarantees that data were duly protected and not profiled, mostly for children.
So now what I'm thinking is I have to use a VPN. So when I'm using ChatGPT, I'm actually in Italy so that
Yeah,
I can be better protected.
yeah, you can do
More
it
people
better.
need to do that, right?
Maybe it's a solution.
Yeah, yeah. No, this has been very powerful. Thank you so much. Um, Now, do you see a movement towards like we were talking a bit earlier about how did you word it, Mike, about like Interpol? You were talking about inter security
Cyber Interpol. So,
Interpol.
and we notice this in North America as well. If it's a physical crime, there's very good laws out there. There's very good protection for people. They can go after it. As soon as there's a crime committed on the internet and we see an IP address that's somewhere in, overseas, they immediately give up.
Yes, I know. Even here, they will say if you have a crime on internet, they give up immediately because they use they have money. They have all the money stolen by us, all money of all the products sold online on dark web and deep web. They have solutions. They do not care. I can tell you that many companies are under blackmail.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Pay me or I will steal all your data
Right. The
and
bad
I will
actors come
use
after
it.
you thinking your insurance is going to give it up. It's not even
Yes,
personal to them.
yes.
Right.
well, hopefully one day we can actually have that corrected, that we take it just, if not more serious than the physical crimes. And we treat them
Well,
globally, consistently globally. Yeah.
well, Christine, all of us receive at least one fake message or email every day.
Mhm.
So the quantity of digital crime is much higher than
Yeah.
physical crimes.
Yeah. But just because it's high doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
No, we must absolutely try. We must
Yeah.
start talk.
Yeah.
Families avoid games. And in Italy now we are facing a lot of real criminal troubles from baby gangs and young that are not ashamed to make crimes and then to put on social. Because
Yeah.
social is visibility. They have no perception of reality. Perception.
Yeah.
So, Gianni, I wanted to ask you about something you talked about earlier. We talked about the drop in IQ, which is very well known. Um, Many reasons for that. We've also noticed on the education side a drop in numeracy and literacy over those years, starting, I guess, with the advent of the calculator. People's
Yes.
ability to do math has dropped. Now, with the advent of AI, generative tools, we're seeing what I call a drop in narrative facility. Or, in other words, you would know this very well as a writer, the ability to create a narrative, the ability to tell a story. When you are a child and you have your phone and you're searching for the next word, you're not creating a narrative. So, what would you say would be the best way for to legislate something that could combat that drop in literacy or loss of narrative facility?
Can you repeat, please? I think I've lost something. Literacy, you mean creating books or?
Being able to tell a story. So if somebody doesn't have their phone in their hand and they're not texting you at a certain
Yes.
age, and you ask them, tell me about your day,
Yeah,
it's
and they
difficult.
tell it. Yes. Well, we had, when we were children, we had no mobiles.
Mhm.
So every day we had to create something. A new game was something that we created with ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the point, if I catch the point.
It is the point,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That's the point. Every day we say, in Italy, we say theft and policemen, running blind, imagine situation, creating.
Yeah.
It was fantasy.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
creating fantasy. Now I can write with ChatGPT. Sometimes I use it in my work. I admit makes me things easy, but
Yeah.
I always revise everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you had learned how to do it without ChatGPT. And so you use
Yes, I
ChatGPT.
learn and I try to control because I still handwrite.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is another issue I wish to think about one moment.
Okay.
Mhm.
That where I see the danger? Typewriter. You remember typewriter?
Olivetti, of course.
Yes, was the same machine for 100 years. Was totally the same, giving the opportunity to work were to dactylographers, 100,000 women doing that work. Now typewriters, they do not exist anymore, and the secretaries in office do not exist anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Those.
And if you go bank, usually you could find someone at cashier to talk and have an opinion and talk. Now bank is only online,
Mhm.
and this work doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. It's just going to get worse.
Technology,
AI.
yeah. Now when I make shopping, I cannot talk with the girl at the cashier taking products. But I close my deal with my credit card and a smart contract with the blockchain. Too
Yeah.
many things are changing too quickly.
Yeah.
And what sometimes I think about is that this year it's 50 years since Microsoft was developed and put on market. How many things changed in less than 50 years so quickly?
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
know what,
we,
Johnny, like this is a conversation that's only scratching the surface, and I'm just noticing the time. So we're gonna have to close it out. But I'm kind of thinking we're gonna have to have a part two where we can pick up
I'll
the
be very
conversation.
happy. And
Yeah.
I hope part two, if I can take the liberty to say, I wish will be for families and children.
Yes. And I guess that's a good place to start in building the future, right? Is is taking it a little bit more seriously, the impact of computing systems on the developing mind. And then also for ourselves, we should be also reconsidering our habits as well. Um, so
Okay.
I just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time and opening our eyes. And actually, to those of you that are watching, if you want to continue the conversation or you have something to add and contribute, definitely we're on LinkedIn. That's how you found us. And all three of us, myself, Mike, and Gianni, you can definitely find our connection details associated with this event. So feel free to reach out to us. Uh, just as a reminder that this was hosted by the combination of Mike's company, P2L, and my company, Zitiso. And we are going to be doing these kinds of events on a monthly basis with the summertime off. But definitely, if you have topics that you want to have discussions on, feel free to reach out to us. And Mike, wonderful guy, definitely has a heart for people, and definitely you've been around the world too, so you've got more of that international appeal and a lot of experience working with businesses in technology and education. So definitely happy to be collaborating with you, Mike.
Thank you,
And
Christine. Happy to
yeah,
be collaborating with you as well.
thank you. And I'm very technically focused, so I've been working with global leaders in AI. So this is very exciting for me to be connected with you, Gianni, on this. So if any of you that are listening in looking for some guidance in really taking control and being a company that leads the way to the invitation, I think, Gianni, that you would put out there for companies to actually proactively seek getting that certification of digital trust. Let's make that more common in the world so that we can enjoy these technologies, but do it in a controlled way. And on that note, both companies, P2L and Zitiso, have collaborated in putting together a collection of services to help you in whatever aspect you are in using, adopting, promoting AI services, AI products. So if you want some support in that, again, just feel free to reach out to either Mike or myself.
Yep, text away on LinkedIn, right, Christine?
Yep. And so connect with us. We can do a free 30-minute consultation just to see if there is a fit and at least point you in the right direction. So again, thank you so much, Gianni, for your time, and looking forward to continuing to get to know you and work with you on promoting goodness for people as we see more and more AI out there. And thank you, Mike, for hosting us.
Absolutely. So thanks everyone that tuned in. If you have any questions for us, again, just send us some information, send us your questions, and we will answer them accordingly. So I guess we're signing off. We're right at the hour. We're just past the hour. So thank you so much from Christine Thompson, Gianni Dell'Aiuto. Everyone have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.